Okay, everybody, welcome back. The motor mount is now dried, and I will continue on to the next phase of the construction, which will be the booster tube. So I will cut out the marking guide for the booster. We've got two marking guides and the shock cord mount on this, which you know me, I photocopied off the instructions. So booster guide, body tube guide, and shock cord mount down there. I only need the booster guide at the moment, so I will need to be careful with this one. If I cut too far, I'll cut in the shock cord mount. So my trusty knife, safety first. And stop there. I also need to be careful cutting this line, because then I'll cut into the body tube guide. I suppose I can just make a new copy if I need to. It's nice having my own copier. So my printer, copy, fax, whatever machine. I've never sent a fax with it, but plenty of copies, plenty of scans. Alright, whoops, I did cut into it a little bit, but not too far. Shouldn't be a problem. Now, I'll use my little trick of a couple of bits of masking tape. Just put them there for now. Get my tube, and now in the instructions and on the marking guide, there are sections that says cut out shaded area and then cut out slots for the fins. SquirrelWorks has done that for me already. So I guess this is an update to their kit, and they didn't change the instructions. I'm fine with that. I like that they did that. This is not an easy task to do. I've done it and I don't like doing it. So the fact that they did it for me is great. They even cut these slots for the retaining hooks. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it just to be safe, but I don't know that I really need to. Basically, if I tape this flush to one end, that will line up with the area I was meant to cut out for the fin slot. And wrap it around. And that lines up again quite nicely. Another piece there. Yeah, and that, did I? Can't tell where the slots are for the retaining hook. Oh, nope, I've got it spun 90 degrees. So it's a good thing masking tape is fairly low tack. And if I had paid attention, I would have seen that. There. Now the retaining hook line is lining up with the slot for the retaining hook. And again, they're already cut, so this is more of a formality, more or less. Yeah, I don't mind extra markings on it, honestly. I'll write a little R for that one, so I know it's a retaining hook. But again, this is just, I don't really want to skip ahead and then later find out, oh, I should have done that, right? Haven't we all done that? And this is an R again. Okay. Yeah, it even shows you the dimensions for where to cut them out, but I mean, basically, it's already done. We can take those lines down to the rest of the tube, but it won't really change anything for me. Suppose having that would come in handy, you know, in case there would always have been the chance that the kit was damaged in shipment. That has happened. And then I would have to locate the body tube of the right size, and basically I'd have to do all that cutting myself. But since I don't have to, yeah. So the engine mount will go in, and you can see the fin slots are closer to one end than the other end, and then the engine mount tube will go in this end. There. And that fits nice and snug. But I want to make sure that you line the end of your hook with its mark. Oh, engine hook mark. There. Like that. So it's a good thing, I guess not a bad idea that I kept this, because we wanted this to line up with this, because these are where the fins go, the slots where the fins go, so we don't want the fins blocking access to the engine hook. And the space between, I hope that's enough. So, tube ends will be even. Yeah, I hope I didn't mess this up, because the centering rings now are just inside the ends of the fin slots. Well, you can always hope for the best. So you need to remember this, keep it in this orientation. And what is that? bit. Okay, now. Yeah, that's already cut. Okay, I'm just reading ahead here. So I'm going to put a smear of glue inside here, just on the inside, just on either side of the tube or the fin slots. If I can find where I put my dowel. Where'd you go? I just had it. Do you see it? Did you see where I put it? Well, I'll probably find it later. I have more. This is a bit long for what I really need, but it'll work. Alright, same trick. Smear that in, and I'm gonna feed that in. And then before the glue gets to it, I will glue here. So that gets plenty. And then twist that around so it's to the engine hook, retaining hook. And then squish that in, and then these go in till they are even. There. And wipe off the excess glue. Don't we always have excess glue? Whoopsie. Stop it. All right. Overall, I really like that setup, having the fin slots and then where the fin tabs will fit into, in between the centering rings. That's a very, hey, I see my dowel. It's buried under the supplies. Thanks. Alright, so I'm going to let that set for a little bit. And then next is one of the couplers. I'm going to mark it and measure it, see how big it is first. It's an inch, so I need to mark it at 1/2 inch. Because this gets glued so that it sticks halfway out of there. Yes. So a little bit of glue. There. Smear that around. this. And as I'm inserting it, I'm twisting it. That kind of gets that glue smeared around a little bit more. And then I'm going to wipe the excess down on the inside. Let that set for a little bit. Alrighty, now onto the fins. So I'm going to set you down while I dry. And I'll set you down to dry while I move on. There. Ready you. Move you. And the fins I need are you. Whatever number sheet this was, I forget. Number 11. Don't know. You'll remind me, right? Okay. These are in. These are lots of tabs. Actually, I missed a step. I want to get my tea and my paper. And before, were you all yelling at? I know I would be. And to get this sanded a little smooth before I pull those out. There's one sheet. That's both. All right, back to cutting. Where did I leave off? Those. Got that one, got that one, got that one. That's the next one. That one. These are very, very close to one another. Cut these on both sides. There. That's one. 3 more and I'll be set. Okay. I'm not going to cut these pieces out yet. I don't need them, and I'm worried that if I cut them now, I'll lose them, and I don't want to do that. And so I'm going to get my tea again, and now that they're cut out, I am going to round. See how they're flat edge now? I'm going to kind of gently round those down with the help of my sanding tea. A little more rounded. There. No, that side's a little more rounded. Could go a little more if I wanted to, but I think I'm happy with that. So I'll do the other three and I'll be back. Alright, so the fins are sanded. That's the motor mount's not quite as dry as I would like. So I'm going to let that dry and then I'll pick this up again in the next one. So thank you for joining me and I'll see you again.